Have you ever found yourself, wrestling with your phone, scrolling through endless search results, just trying to find a quick, reliable recommendation for something really important, like a doctor or a clinic?
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know that feeling when you just want one direct answer, not like 100 links? It's so frustrating, isn't it?
It really is. And what's truly fascinating right now is that the way people are finding healthcare providers is, well, it's undergoing this huge shift, a seismic shift,
Yes, I could
really.
think so.
It's not just about traditional websites anymore or the search engine optimization, SEO,
Yeah.
that helps them show up in a list.
Right.
Patients are increasingly turning to these AI-powered tools, think ChatGPT, Google's AI overviews, Siri, even Alexa for direct answers and personalized recommendations. They're actually skipping the usual search results page.
Wow. Okay. So what does this massive shift mean for clinics, for healthcare providers?
Well, it means we need to talk about something fundamentally different, something we're calling healthcare GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. It's not about being one of many in a list. It's about being chosen by an AI, chosen to be named directly as the answer.
Chosen, not just listed. Okay.
Exactly. So our mission today in this deep dive is to really unpack what healthcare GEO is. We want to explore why it's becoming not just important, but frankly, critical for clinics to understand and implement.
And how these AI systems actually pick who to recommend.
Precisely. We'll look at how they decide and, crucially, give you actionable steps clinics can take. Steps to make sure they are not just seen, but specifically chosen by these powerful new AI, let's call them gatekeepers.
Okay, so this deep dive is basically a shortcut to understanding this whole new landscape.
That's the plan.
All right, let's get into it. This core difference you mentioned between traditional SEO and this new GEO, it sounds pretty stark.
It really is illuminating when you break it down. With SEO, a clinic's goal is, well, it's to rank high, right? To show up prominently in a list of websites when someone searches.
Yeah, you want to be on that first page, ideally near the top, get the click.
Exactly. Get the click. But with GEO, the goal is radically different. It's about helping a clinic get chosen by an AI, chosen to be explicitly named and recommended in a single direct answer.
So no list of links to scroll through, no clicks even involved.
None. The AI just tells the person where to go.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Imagine an AI assistant telling someone, like you said, try Maplewood Family Clinic. They specialize in pediatric care and are highly rated. That person might never need to click anything else. I mean, think about that impact. No links, no ads, just a direct, immediate answer. It's like a referral from a trusted digital source.
And this leads to what we're calling the forgotten factor.
The forgotten factor. Sounds a bit ominous.
Well, it can be. Clinics won't see this activity in their traditional analytics. Why? Because there aren't any clicks or page views to track.
Ah, right. No data trail.
Exactly. They'll either be part of that direct AI-generated answer or they won't. It's like,
Yeah.
imagine having a shop in a world where everyone uses GPS, but if your shop isn't clearly marked in that GPS system,
You're invisible. Instantly.
precisely. If a clinic's online information is outdated or inconsistent, maybe just vague, they might simply get left out, forgotten.
But if they're clear, consistent, well-reviewed,
And they're far more likely to be included, to be that chosen answer.
just forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a powerful thought. And a bit scary for clinics, I bet.
So how does this AI actually choose? It's not thinking like us or clicking around like we do, right?
No, definitely not. AI systems read the internet, but it's in a very specific algorithmic way.
Right.
Think of them like digital detectives, constantly sifting through this ocean of data.
Looking for clues.
Exactly, looking for the clearest, most consistent clues about who you are and what you do. They make decisions based on specific signals they pick up from all that data out there. There are about 5 key signals they primarily use.
5 key signals, okay? Before you list them, is there one signal that you find clinics maybe overlook the most, or one that's surprisingly important? That's a great question. I think consistency, that second one, is often really underestimated. But let's run through all 5 quickly.
Okay.
First, mentions. Just how often your clinic is talked about across the web. Second, consistency. Is your clinic's name, location, services, is it the same everywhere? Or are there confusing variations floating around?
Like Maplewood Kids versus Maplewood Pediatrics.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Third, reputation signals. This includes reviews, media mentions, basically what are people saying about you and is it generally positive?
Makes sense.
Fourth, technical clarity. This is things like having a proper website structure, clean formatting. Can the AI easily understand your site's content and how it's organized?
So machine readability matters.
Hugely. And fifth, trust. Trust in the sites that mention your clinic. Is the source credible, authoritative, like a mention on a major health directory versus some random blog?
Okay, so it's not just about getting mentioned, but the quality and consistency of those mentions really count. Does that mean, like, could a clinic with fewer reviews but super clear, consistent info actually do better in GEO terms than a clinic with tons of reviews
Yeah.
but, say, messy data?
Absolutely. It's less about the sheer volume and more about having a coherent digital fingerprint.
A digital fingerprint, I like that.
Yeah. A single conflicting detail, maybe a slightly different name or address on just one trusted directory that can create what we call a no-match situation for the AI.
Like a smudge on the fingerprint.
Exactly. The AI might just move on because it can't definitively confirm who you are, even if you're otherwise a perfect fit. That's why clarity and consistency across all those signals are just paramount.
Wow, okay. That really hammers home the need for precision. So who are these new AI gatekeepers then? The ones in healthcare that clinics really need to be aware of?
Yeah, the landscape is actually quite diverse. It's not just Google anymore, though they're obviously huge. Patients are using a range of tools.
Right.
Let's maybe explore some of the main platforms shaping how patients find clinics. And we can use a common kind of query, maybe something like finding a reliable and not so expensive ultrasound clinic in London, just to see how each AI might tackle it.
Good idea.
Mm,
Let's start with the big one. ChatGPT from OpenAI.
right, ChatGPT. It's one of the most used AI tools out there globally. People treat it like a really smart search assistant, asking it everything from, checking symptoms to finding nearby care.
And it can browse the web now, right?
It can. So it sifts through websites, business listings. For our London ultrasound query, it often names just one or two providers directly.
So if your clinic is clear, consistent.
You're much more likely to be that named recommendation. Much more likely.
Okay. Next up, Google's own AI overviews. I remember that used to be called SGE.
That's right, formerly SGE. AI overviews are integrated right into Google Search now. They often appear above the regular results for many health-related searches.
Ah, so right at the top.
Exactly. So if you were asking, say, about an inexpensive ultrasound clinic in Ireland, you might see an AI summary naming a specific clinic before you even see any traditional links or ads.
And how does Google's AI decide for that?
Well, it scans your site, definitely your Google business profile, your reviews, and mentions on other trusted sites. Being included there requires sort of strong basic SEO plus that GEO clarity we've been talking about.
Meaning things like schema markup,
Mhm.
consistent services, good reputation signals.
Got it, all of those.
Okay, then there's Gemini, also from Google, right? What's the difference?
Gemini is Google's conversational AI assistant. It's deeply integrated into Android phones, the Google app, Chrome. It has live access to Google search results.
So good for real-time stuff, local queries.
Incredibly strong for that, yes. So if you ask Gemini about finding that reliable London ultrasound clinic and your practice has a really well-optimized Google business profile and a clear website structure.
Gemini might just give you the name directly in the chat.
It can, yes, right within its conversational response.
Okay. What about Claude from Anthropic? I hear more about them lately.
Claude is growing fast, yeah. It's known for its focus on accuracy and safety. It also browses the web and summarizes content from trusted sources. It really values clarity and source reliability.
So for Claude, clear writing matters.
Very much. As its usage grows, especially in professional settings maybe, being mentioned in clearly written, well-structured content where your services are just plainly stated, that becomes really crucial for visibility in Claude's answers. Say, for our London clinic query.
Gotcha. And Perplexity, you said that one's fascinating, kind of transparent.
Perplexity is pretty unique, yeah. It calls itself an answer engine. It combines direct answers with live sources and citations. Think of it like maybe a hybrid of Wikipedia and Google search.
Okay.
It reads the web in real time, and crucially, it shows you where its answers come from. It often links directly to the actual clinics or directories it used.
Oh, that is transparent.
Very. So if your site and listings are well-structured, authoritative, Perplexity might cite you directly in its answers, like for our London ultrasound example.
Interesting. Okay. Last one, but maybe the most common for quick voice searches. Siri from Apple.
Right. We can't forget Siri, still a massively popular voice assistant, especially for iPhone users asking quick health questions or looking for local places.
But how does Siri get its info?
Here's the key thing. Siri pulls data primarily from Apple Maps, Yelp, and various other healthcare directories. It does not typically pull directly from your clinic's website.
But really, not from the website at all.
Not usually, no. So for a user asking Siri to recommend that reliable London ultrasound clinic, if your listings are inconsistent or incomplete on those key third-party platforms like Maps or Yelp,
Siri might just skip right past you, even if you're the best option nearby.
it might. Which just highlights the absolute importance of managing your presence across multiple platforms well beyond just your own website.
Wow, okay, that's a lot of different gatekeepers. But listening to you describe them, they all seem to value similar underlying principles, don't they?
They really do. Despite their differences, the core signals often overlap.
So, let's simplify. What are maybe 3 simple principles for healthcare GEO that any clinic, regardless of, their technical skill, could start focusing on today?
Absolutely. You definitely don't need to be an AI expert to make real progress here. The very first principle is say the same thing everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I mean everywhere. Your clinic's name, address, services, description, it needs to be identical across all your digital platforms. Your Google business profile, Yelp, your own website, local directories, health review sites, all of them.
So no more Maplewood Pediatric Urgent Care in one place and Maplewood Kids Clinic somewhere else.
Exactly. That's not just confusing potential patients anymore. It's deeply confusing the AI. And confusing the AI means basically becoming invisible to it. Consistency is critical.
Okay, consistency is king. That makes sense. But, clinics sometimes do change. Services evolve. Maybe they rebrand slightly. How do they balance this need for absolute consistency with, necessary updates? What if they have to change their name a bit?
That's a fantastic point, and it comes up a lot. When changes are necessary, maybe a new service, a slight name tweak, updated hours, the key is to update all your digital properties simultaneously, or as close to simultaneously as possible.
This synchronized effort.
Exactly. Think of it like a physical brand refresh. You wouldn't just change the logo on your website, right? You change it on your building signage, your letterhead, your business cards, everywhere.
Right.
With GEO, that everywhere now explicitly includes your entire digital footprint. A slight name change won't be a problem if it's updated consistently across the board. The AI will then recognize the new consistent pattern.
Okay, update everywhere, all at once. Got it. So, the second principle.
The second one is use clear language that AI can understand. This isn't the place for fancy marketing jargon or overly creative descriptions.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple and direct. On your website, on your listings, list your services plainly. Urgent care, pediatric primary care, sports physicals. Use short, direct sentences. Maintain consistent wording.
So don't call it family health on one page and primary care on another.
Please don't. AI tools are looking for patterns and direct matches. The more straightforward and consistent your language, the easier it is for the AI to accurately categorize you and ultimately recommend you for the right things.
Makes sense. Plain language wins. And the third principle for building this GEO presence.
The third principle is build your reputation across the web. Remember, AI doesn't just read your website. It's pulling information from a much wider digital ecosystem.
Like what?
Reviews, definitely. But also local news articles that mention you, blog posts, community event listings where you're a sponsor, maybe even transcripts from podcasts or videos if they're online.
So you want to be mentioned and described consistently in lots of trusted places.
Exactly. Because each mention builds evidence for the AI. It verifies who you are and what you do.
So practical things clinics can do.
Encourage happy patients to leave reviews and maybe gently suggest they mention the specific service they received. If your clinic sponsors a local 5K run, make sure they list your full, correct name prominently on their website. Offer quotes to local health writers for their stories.
Every one of those becomes like a little signal flare for the AI.
A verifiable signal, yes. It all adds up to build that trusted digital fingerprint.
Okay, those 3 principles, consistency, clear language, building reputation, seem incredibly actionable, even for a small clinic without a huge tech team.
They really are foundational.
Now, for clinics that do have someone managing their website, or maybe they work with an agency, what are some smart technical upgrades that can specifically boost their healthcare GEO?
Yes, there are definitely some technical things that can give you an edge. Let's go through 5 key ones. First, schema markup.
Schema. I hear that a lot with SEO, too.
It's crucial for both, but maybe even more so for GEO. Schema is basically adding structured data, like special tags, to your website's code. It tells AI tools exactly what your clinic does in a format they understand perfectly.
Like labeling things clearly for the machines.
Precisely. You use specific schemas like medical clinic for the overall clinic, physician for individual doctors listed, or urgent care clinic if you offer walk-in services. This helps your pages show up in those rich search results and dramatically increases the chances of AI tools understanding and recommending you correctly.
So it's like giving the AI a universal barcode for your services. Makes sense.
Mhm.
What's next, technically?
Second, site structure. Make sure every distinct service you offer has its own dedicated page on your website.
Not just lumped together on one services page.
Ideally, no. Have a specific page for flu shots, another for children's health, maybe ultrasound services. This clear, organized structure isn't just better for human visitors. It allows AI to precisely categorize your offerings. It knows exactly what you do.
Okay, dedicated pages for each service. Got it. And I know FAQ pages are often good for regular SEO. Are they helpful for AI too?
Oh, absolutely. They're like SEO and AI gold. That's the third technical point. FAQ sections are fantastic because they're naturally structured in a question and answer format, which is ideal for AI to scan and summarize.
So the AI can just grab the answer easily.
Exactly. Use clear headings for each question, and if you can, add specific FAQ page schema markup to them. Include common questions people ask. What does an ultrasound scan cost? Do you accept walk-ins? Is parking available near the clinic? These directly answer common queries for the AI, making it super easy for it to provide a direct, concise response to a user's question about your specific clinic.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, number 4.
Number 4 brings us back to consistency, but on a technical level. Consistent local info, NAP.
NAP, name, address, phone number. That's fundamental for local SEO, right?
Absolutely fundamental, and it's even more critical for GEO. Your name, address, and phone number must be exactly the same character for character on your website, usually in the footer and contact page, on your Google business profile, and across all relevant online directories like Yelp, Healthgrades, etc.
Why is that so critical for AI?
Because it helps the AI confidently associate your clinic with a specific geographic location. It cements your local presence in their knowledge base. Any discrepancy raises doubt.
Okay, precision matters. And finally, number 5. You mentioned something earlier I hadn't heard much about, an LLM.txt file.
Yes, number 5. This is a newer but really smart technical upgrade. Include an LLM.txt file.
What is that exactly?
It's a simple plain text file, literally just text, no fancy code that you add to the main root directory of your website. Inside this file, you provide a very concise summary of your clinic's key details. Name, address, phone, core services, maybe opening hours, all in clear, unambiguous language.
And why would you do that? Who reads it?
The large language models, the LLMs that power these AI tools, read it. We actually saw a clinic recently that added one of these files. Afterwards, they reported a noticeable uptick in new patients, specifically mentioning they'd heard about them through an AI search.
Really? Just from adding a text file?
It seems so. It's like leaving a quick, clear cheat sheet specifically for the AI models. It helps them instantly grasp who you are and what you offer, which seems to significantly increase the chances of an accurate recommendation. It's low effort, high potential impact.
Wow. Okay, LLM.txt file. Good tip. So we've circled around SEO versus GEO a lot. Let's really nail down that final distinction one more time. How do we clearly separate them in our minds?
Yeah, it's crucial to keep them straight because they require different thinking.
Okay.
Let's break it down by goals, audience, strategy, and metrics for SEO. The goal is to rank higher in search results. The audience is human searchers scanning those results. The strategy involves keywords, backlinks, driving website traffic, and the metrics you track are clicks, page views, bounce rate, things like that.
Right. Think of it as winning Google to get people to click on your links.
Exactly. Now, for GEO, the goal is to be included, to be chosen, in direct AI answers. The audience is primarily the AI systems themselves.
The machines are the audience.
In a way, yes. The strategy is all about clarity, consistency across the web, and building that strong, verifiable reputation. And the metrics, they're indirect. You don't get clicks from an AI answer because often there isn't a link to click.
So think of GEO as what? Becoming a trusted answer for machines that don't click, they decide.
That's a perfect way to put it. They decide who gets mentioned.
Okay, that really crystallizes the difference. And it makes clear that GEO doesn't replace SEO, right? It sort of shifts the focus.
Precisely. SEO still absolutely matters for your website's overall visibility, for organic traffic, for people who do still browse search results. But GEO is about ensuring clinics get included in those direct AI-generated answers, the ones users are increasingly trusting, sometimes even more than the traditional list of links.
Yeah, that trust factor is huge.
It is. And when it comes to what clinics should expect and how they can even try to track GEO, well, you have to adjust your mindset significantly.
How so? Because
Like,
you said results aren't instant, and it doesn't show up in analytics reports like SEO traffic does.
exactly. You won't see a GEO referrals line item in Google Analytics.
So if there are no direct metrics, what can clinics watch for? Are there any indirect signals that their GEO efforts might be working? Or is it possible they're just being forgotten, like you said, and they wouldn't even know? Is no news bad news here?
That's a really critical question. And yes, it is tough to know definitively if you're being forgotten. In this new landscape, no news from AI channels could potentially be bad news, suggesting you're not making the cut.
Okay, so what are the positive signs then?
What you'll likely notice or should listen for are patients saying things like, oh, I found you through Google's AI overview, or ChatGPT mentioned you, or maybe just I heard about you through one of these AI tools.
Anecdotal evidence, basically.
A lot of it is, initially. You might also see more referrals coming from unexpected places, maybe places you didn't directly advertise. Or if you're actively testing queries yourself, you might start seeing your clinic mentioned more often in AI answers over time.
So it's a long-term game, not a quick fix.
Definitely a long-term strategy. It's about consistently building and maintaining that clear, trustworthy digital footprint. And honestly, for clinics looking to stay relevant and attract patients in the age of AI, it's really not optional anymore.
Not optional. That's a strong statement.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hit a few quick FAQs that listeners might have before we wrap up this deep dive. First one, can GEO actually be tracked directly? You kind of answered this, but just to be clear.
No, not directly in the way we track website traffic. AI systems generally don't send referral data or report impressions like traditional web analytics. You have to watch for those indirect signals we just discussed, patient comments, maybe an increase in direct calls, or branded searches that weren't driven by specific ads.
Okay. What's the single most important number one thing a clinic should fix right now if they want to start with GEO? Where's the biggest bang for their buck initially?
Consistency, hands down. Make absolutely sure your clinic's name, address, phone number, core services, and maybe a short description are identical across all key platforms. Start with your own website, your Google business profile, and major health directories like Healthgrades, WebMD, Yelp, etc. Get that right first. That's your foundation.
Solid advice. Next question. Is GEO a one-time setup? Like, fix it and forget it?
Oh, definitely not. Think of it like managing your clinic's public reputation or its physical appearance. It needs ongoing attention. Information needs updating, new reviews come in, maybe new services are added. It's continuous care and monitoring, not a one-off campaign.
Makes sense. It's about maintaining that presence. And finally, can a clinic realistically do much with GEO if they don't have a lot of technical skills in-house?
Yes, absolutely. A significant part of GEO is accessible without deep technical expertise. It's fundamentally about clarity, consistency, and visibility.
So things like making sure the NAP is correct everywhere, asking for reviews, getting listed in local directories.
Exactly. While technical elements like schema markup certainly help and can give you an edge, those core actions ensuring consistent citations, encouraging patient reviews, making sure your website content is clear and uses plain language don't require coding skills. It's more about meticulous management of your online identity. The tech helps optimize, but the foundation is non-technical.
Okay, that's really encouraging. So to recap our deep dive today, this shift towards AI-driven recommendations isn't just coming, it's already here. It's happening now, and it's a profound change.
It really is.
For clinics, healthcare GEO is all about earning that inclusion in AI answers. And you do that by being incredibly clear, meticulously consistent, and building a verifiable, trustworthy digital presence right across the internet.
Couldn't have said it better.
It's not about chasing clicks anymore, is it? It's about making sure your clinic is remembered and recommended, even when there's no link for someone to click.
That's the core shift. It's a truly fundamental change in how discovery itself works. And, this raises a really interesting question and maybe a provocative thought for you, the listener, to consider.
Go on.
As AI becomes the default concierge for so many aspects of our lives, finding a doctor, sure, but also booking travel, choosing a restaurant, getting product recommendations, How else might this fundamental shift in discovery away from lists and clicks towards direct AI answers change the way we approach finding any service, not just healthcare, in the coming years?
Hmm. If the AI is the gatekeeper for everything, what does that mean for choice, for small businesses,
Yeah.
for how we even learn about new things?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
something to really mull over as we all navigate this rapidly evolving digital frontier.